There we go. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. All right. Hey, I want to focus here on the dark chart today a little bit. So, if we take a look at the chart here, last night I was able to talk to a couple people. Always after the close or weekends, sometimes I get people contact me and we chat and we talk. Coaching people, following up, things like that. And there's some people looking to buy long, some people looking to buy short. Some folks looking for bounces and whatnot, and that's all fine and dandy. But I truly believe we should wait for that to happen. No, don't try to predict it. Don't assume it, and kind of stay with the trend. And there is a point in the trend where this lag point where, okay, maybe shouldn't be short, maybe shouldn't be long, maybe we need to wait for some information. There is that area, and we talked about that yesterday around the turns, when it turns green to red or red to green, maybe around those turns. Those are dangerous places to be trading, very dangerous. And I think if we just look at the chart and just trade the trend, just simply trade the trend, I think we would be far better off. And if you look at what we have here, we're still in a very clear downtrend. Now, I don't have any candlesticks on here. The white line is the T line. The red and green is the trend indicator. The yellow, that's the 50-period moving average, okay? So you can clearly see we're in a downtrend here, and we're starting to roll over. One of the conversations yesterday was, well, the SPY may be oversold. We may, getting close to a bounce. And that's great for conversation, but I wouldn't be predicting it. I would go with what the trend is doing in an established trend. If we take a look at the transports as an example, if you take a look at that, we are in a clear downtrend on the transports. There is nothing here that points to anything bullish. And even if, let's see here, and there are no candlesticks on this chart, and it doesn't matter what candlestick is on this chart. If there was, I can't draw a candlestick. The program doesn't let me, I have to do it with an arrow here. Even if there was like some bullish engulf or something down here, you can see the trend is still down. And what we don't want to rush in. We want a trend to be established, like this right here. See how that trend is established? That's what we're looking for. Right now, the only thing established is a downtrend. So we want to trade with that trend. If we take a look at XLI, try that again, XLI, the industrials, you can see that that's still in a downtrend. In fact, that's a bearish H pattern setting up. Now you might look at this, and this is one of the conversations I had last night, is if you draw a line from these lows, again, I'm just using, the T line here as my trend line. So candlesticks could be, who knows exactly where on this chart. But if you look at that, one of the conversations it went last night, well, we could bounce off that trend line. Yes, we could, and that's great for table talk. That's great for a party conversation, but for trading, do we want to try? Do we want to try to predict that and be a buyer right here? Probably not, because what we want again is, if you want to be bullish, wait for that trend to establish like this. And then there's all kinds of good trading in here. Like if you want to be short, if you're a short master and you just, bound and determined to be short on the market, well, the time to be short is when the trend tells you that. If you predicted something right here, it, puts you in the hurt locker right in here. So allow that trend to establish and trade with the trend. Let's see, SMH. SMH is actually faring a little bit better than, say, IYT or the industrials there. That's faring a little bit better. But still, look where we are. We're still, looking to the downside. And if we break that trend right there, then more downside to come in there. So I think a lot of caution. Here's something I pulled out of the archives. Trade in the direction of the market. That might be very helpful for some folks. Is just let's see, pin. There we go. Trade in the direction of the market. Trade the direction of the chart being considered. So don't, be careful not to predict, well, that chart's going to bounce either up or down. Picking tops or picking bottoms. Be very careful with that. Plan your trade out a little bit, maybe more than normal, especially in these high volatile times. Wait for the correct entry pattern. And what I mean by that is sometimes we get caught up in the excitement of trading, and especially when things are just, going nuts and buying and selling and really getting in there. Sometimes we get caught up into that, and we get pushed into over trading maybe, and not waiting for the chart to come to us and that right entry for you. Always take profits into strength or weakness if it's a short. This is one right here that's pretty important. Cash on the sidelines is a position, and the market right now is pretty darn volatile. So this is a position to consider. And then just, have a great day. Just smile, enjoy your day. So just something I pulled out of the archives here, and I thought I would share out there a little bit. All right, let's come over here. Does anyone have any charts you want to take a look at? And while you're typing some charts in there, some tickers, let's take a look at those. I do want to remind everybody, today at noon will be the last time you can, that's when we have the cutoff time for the contest coming this Tuesday. I'm pretty excited about this. I think this is pretty cool, and a lot of plans going forward with it as well, growing this a little bit. So make sure that, I'll drop a link here in the room, and of course it'll be on the social media areas of Hit and Run Candlesticks. I'll drop a link there. Noon Eastern, yeah, so 11 Central would be my time, but noon Eastern. That's the last you can make a prediction of where this buy is going to close Tuesday. And then, of course, we'll have the drawing right here in the room Tuesday. So I'll drop the link in here in the room in just a moment after this. And then, again, it'll be in the social media areas, okay? So let's see. Any charts? Anybody have anything you want to take a look at? Carol, we're in what you think is a danger zone. Oh, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. We're coming up on the 200 period moving average. That's that red line right there. There's the 500 period moving average. And this is what prompted some conversation yesterday after the close with a couple folks, is that they were looking to buy down here because they feel the market's going to bounce and bounce up. And my argument was, why rush it? Why not wait till that trend is established? And some of that kind of picking works for some folks, and to be honest, I think most of that type of picking does not work for most folks, because there's no, other than maybe an oversold bounce, but there's nothing that would suggest that we're going to get any kind of a meaningful run here. Oversold bounce, sure. Yeah, you might get that. But, man, that's dangerous territory. Totally agree with you. All right, let's see. Carol, you want to look at some Rolex? I looked at that this morning. That's still looking really good. See, that's what I mean by an established trend right there. That's what I'm looking for, the Trendicator green like that. This is a nice rounded bottom breakout. Still looking for a target up here, 36.50. So, you know, if we take a look, if somebody traded with, say, rules like this, trade in the direction of the market, well, that might not be a trade for somebody. It's a great looking chart, don't get me wrong, but you're going against the overall market, so you're going to have this elephant sitting on you pretty hard until the market relaxes a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind there. But I love the chart. I absolutely love it. Hey, Good Sun's got some potential shorts out there. Spotify, yeah, Spot's looking a little bit short here. You can see we're rolling over below the 50 period moving average. You know, down to 138. I'm going to go right to the moving averages there. So, yeah, that's looking like it right in there. Wolf, let's take a look at that. Wolf is trying to roll over. And you can see how that trend is moving down. You know, hang with the trend. And we've got a nice 3-8 trap setting up, bearish 3-8 trap. That's an excellent, I'm going to flag that. That's an excellent looking short. SQ, that's another good looking short. The only thing I question on SQ, I right away said this is a good looking short. I think it needs to break down a little bit more. If I look at SQ here and see what it's done, it might be actually trying to form some kind of a bottom here. It might be because we have a good candle pattern right in here. We have an excellent candle pattern, a nice ride up. We pull back to a higher low, and we're still above that low. So I think it's going to have to crack that low there and show that the bulls don't have the stamina to hold that up right in there. So might want to watch that one there. CAG, man, and CAG kind of fits that same story. These are some pretty good reversal candles. This inverted hammer and then hammer together, followed by that candle. That's a pretty good reversal setup. And we've rallied up, and all we're doing is moving sideways. So we're showing right now that those bulls that created this little area might still be floating around there. On the other hand, I think if we start knocking out that low, that would show the weakness in the bull arena. And then that might be that short right in there. What was the other one? Apple. That's a shame. Apple's not looking great. But one thing that we were talking about yesterday is with the market being down and all, Apple wasn't caving in. And Apple's going to have to cave in a little bit. And I think if we start getting below this 170, 370 area, right where that big line is, that could be that short, down maybe testing the 200 right in there. What was that other one? Sophie? Yeah, Sophie looks like it has a date with the 200 period moving average. And then from there, failure from there would send that down a little bit further. So, but that definitely looks like a date with the 200. Let's see, move that. Here we go. Let's see here. What else? What did I miss here? Hey, Nathan, how are you? DEO. Yeah, nice gap down this morning. I think we need to get through that doji area right in here, though. Yeah, I think we need to get through this morning star. We've got a morning star pattern right here. So what we need to do is get through that morning star. So maybe below that 150. If we take a look at, if we take a look at the weekly, and I put a lot of weight into moving averages. I put a ton of weight into that. So I'm looking at DEO here. I see the weekly, which, that's not how much do we have here? Say right in here, down 3, 4, 5%, maybe 3, 4% to the 500. So I would have to see it below the 500 period moving average to be too short on that right now. What do we have here? Let's see. VIN, ANET. Are we on the daily here? Yeah, ANET's looking a little toppy, isn't it? Man, that's kind of a raunchy, just an ugly looking top up here. I don't know how it's just hanging on. So, yeah, that could really, I'm going to flag that one actually. That could come down pretty good there. And what do we have here? AIG. I'm not sure if you're looking at this long or short. I don't think there's more of a bullish trend going on. Certainly not a buy, but maybe for the watch list right in there. AGJ. Again, I'm not sure whether some of these you're looking long or short, but we're still trending up until we see some serious failure here. I wouldn't be short necessarily. You're going to have to crack that 50 period moving average. Could be a blue ice failure setting up. I just read the rest of what you want. Yeah, uptrend. You need that bullishness to move up. And right now in the market, there's very little that's actually bullish. Very, very little. Sorry, I should have read the rest of what you wrote there. City. Yeah, City. That's just a no good chart. Look at that. That's just a no good chart. Absolutely looks lower. Here's the weekly. You've got this bearish engulfing here. The City could come down and retest those lows at 32 right in there. So yeah, not looking good there. Target, and then that's probably the last one I'm going to be able to take. Target looks short. Certainly that I had this up there just in case we went up and then we started to break out. That didn't happen. You can see the rollover. And this is one reason why I think it's, especially in a volatile market, you really want to look for that trend. And while there's 3 green dots, that's not really enough. And then we want the T line to be above that as well. And that creates that, I would think, that minimal tradable trend right in here. Minimal tradable trend. So, all right, one more just because it's UNG, and then I've got to turn this off. Looks like it's at support. John, a buy? Absolutely not in my book. No, absolutely not. Now, and that's just me, okay, John? There's going to be a lot of people try to buy this down here. I'm not a bottom picker. I want to see the bulls step in, and you're right. I don't disagree with your support. I don't disagree with that at all. But I am 1,000% not a buyer just because you're on support. So what I'm going to need to see is you buy it. You get on top of that. You show me that you're serious, and then I'll go with it. I've said this in the room many times. I'm never going to be the guy that buys right here. I'm going to be the guy that buys right here. I'm never going to be that guy. It's just I just think you have to see the bulls in there buying to see that buying, and it's just my style. But I absolutely, and I'm still holding a little piece of this. We sold most of it here, still holding it. Some of it just so I can keep an eye on it. And if it starts to look good, by golly, I'll jump right on that. So anyway, I got to run off here, everyone. We'll see everybody at the bottom of the hour, okay? Thank you very much. We'll see everybody in the room. Make sure you get on top of that contest if you want to be part of it anyway. It'd be kind of fun. And I'll drop that link in here in just a moment here, okay? Thanks, everyone. Take care.